Alright, so I've deleted all those logos and I've cleared my artboard just to kind of give us a fresh palette. Let's talk about what happens when you can't find a font that Illustrator has that really speaks to you. I mean, Illustrator does come with a lot of fonts to choose from, but if there's not one that's really working for what you're trying to do on your project, you can find new fonts and add them to your computer system. It's pretty simple for the most part, so I'm going to show you how to add a new font to your computer. Please know that you might not be able to download new fonts to computers found at like your school or your work. It really depends on how IT security is set up on those. But this technique does work great for your personal laptops or your personal desktops. It might differ between Macs and PCs. So this video is going to demonstrate what to do on PCs, but there's lots of resources on Google for how to download fonts to any kind of computer. So don't be shy. Use Google, it's a great resource. Alright, the hardest part is finding the font that you want to use. So I've been using dafont.com and 1001fonts.com for many years. If you Google free fonts, you're going to find a number of other websites. So let's do that. I'm going to come to Chrome. Here's Google free fonts. So yes, 1001 fonts, Dafont, Font Squirrel, free fonts. There's lots of them and lots of information like how do I get free fonts. That's what I love about Google. It just helps you. It's so resourceful. I'm going to go to Dafont because that's probably one of my favorites. And this is what it looks like. What's really great is that it shows all the recent fonts that have been added. There's lots of ways to search. We got fancy fonts, foreign fonts, techno, gothic, basic, script, dingbats. Those are the icon text, so they look like pictures instead of actual letters. All kinds of stuff for you to play with on this. I kind of want a handwritten look for this because I'm a casual designer and Green Cat's designs, that doesn't really speak too formal. So I'm going to choose handwritten here. And what's great again is that it previews everything for you. And also what I like is that I can type in the text that I'm looking for. So Green Cat Designs, enter, and it previews it for me. So I can see what it's going to look like before I actually download it, which is spectacular. One thing I want you guys to notice is if you look over to the right hand side that there's some that are free for personal use. This one's a demo. Some of them you have to purchase from the author who created them. It really depends on what you're looking for. So this disclosure that I'm about to give you is the best disclosure I can give. Not all fonts on these websites are going to be free. If you're planning to use the font commercially, so in other words, you plan to either make money off of the image or document that you're creating, or if you're using it for a professional logo, be sure to use one that is royalty free or purchase the rights to them. If you don't, you're going to set yourself up for a potential lawsuit over creative rights. So always shoot for free unless you are willing to buy. Alright, so if I want to make sure that the ones that I'm going to choose are free, I'm going to come up here to this More Options. And it tells me that I can look for public domain, which is great, 100% free. And we're using this mostly for personal use in school, so we're not actually putting our designs out into the real world. So if that's kind of sounds like you can also use free for personal use. Donationware is where you're supposed to donate money to the author, whatever you want to give. Shareware, demo, unknown. I'm not sure kind of where those follow, but I always check these three at least to make sure that I'm keeping myself legally safe. I also like to show 100 at a time so that I don't have to kind of go through all of these, and then I'm going to hit submit. So now moving forward, everything I can use is free and ready to go. So let's just find one that speaks to me. A Little Sunshine, I like that one. Okay, I really like this one, Wildly Sands, Green Cat Designs. I mean, the shapes really kind of emulate a cat, and I really like the way that the handwriting is working. It's kind of architectural in nature, so I really like that one. It's free for personal use. I'm not going to use this on something that I'm actually selling to a client. It's just kind of like for schoolwork and stuff, so let's do that. So to use one that you like, click on download, and it's going to go into your downloads folder. But what's great about PCs these days is that it kind of pops up right here, and it saves it as a zip file. So it's important to get it out of the zip file and into another place first before we upload it into the system. So I'm just going to click on this right here, and it's going to open up that zip file. And you're going to see three things. There's first an Adobe PDF, and then there's two font files located with it. We don't need the PDF. I think that's just an example if you want to see what it looks like in a sentence or something. But I do want the two font files. So I'm going to click and then hold shift to click the other one so I can grab multiple at a time. I'm going to right click on those and I'm going to hit copy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this copy that I'm making of these two font files, and I'm going to put them into a folder that I already have in my documents, specifically for fonts that I download. This is just my method of doing it. I think that this works well for me because I can always take these fonts onto new computers if I need to easily. So I'm going to do Control V to paste, and you'll see that it goes right into my fonts folder. Now I'm not done yet because all I've done is save this in a random folder on my computer. I actually need to get this font into my computer's system. So to do that, I'm coming down here to this little circle. I'm on a Windows 10 Dell machine, so that's what this circle is for searching for things. And I'm going to type Control Panel. So find your system's control panel, however you need to find it. And mine has one directly for fonts. Boom. So this is all the fonts that are currently located on my computer system. So Word can access this, Photoshop, Illustrator, even AutoCAD can access all of these fonts. So what I do is I take these two file system folders that you see here, and I can again highlight, copy, and then I'm going to come over here, and I don't want to do it right on one of these, so I kind of go in the middle in between them. I right click and I paste. The other option that you can do is take this and you can drag it into here and it will upload. So I got a little circle going, so it's thinking, and now it's installing the fonts. And oh, I already had it installed. That's crazy. That goes to show that that particular font really spoke to me. I didn't even know I had it. So yours will probably just go ahead and install. I'm just going to say, yeah, let's go ahead and replace it. And now you have to find it. So that was a W. So of course that's going to be way down at the bottom. And there it is, Wildly Sands. Now I had two. One was a true type and the other one was I can't remember what it was. It wasn't a true type. But my system obviously probably likes true type. So that's the one that stuck. So that's the one I'm going to take. So now if I go back here to Illustrator, and I'm going to just do a basic type tool. Let's just type. I'm going to type Green Cat Designs again. I'm going to highlight that. I always forget the S on the end. There we go. Let's make it a little bigger so that you can actually see it. Now when I come here, I should, in theory, there's Wildly Sands, and there's my Green Cat Designs. So choosing font that has a little panache to it, a little sassafras, can really do a lot for your basic Word type fonts.